A white supremacist visit to Michigan State University ends with arrests and injuries. Richard Spencer's scheduled visit was met with resistance every step of the way, right up until he took the floor to speak. Action News reporter Brianne Palmerini is live on campus tonight to show us what unfolded. Brianne.
Well, Dave, it's much quieter out here tonight at the Agricultural Pavilion. This is a very far area. It's not in the center of campus. It's very far on the outskirts of campus from MSU. Now, there were about 500 protesters out here, and police arrested 24 people on both sides of the issue, and violence erupted. As attendees for the Richard Spencer speech met the protesters outside of the Agricultural Pavilion, violence erupted. People from both sides were punching and pushing. Hundreds of police officers were on hand. Armored cars, mounted patrols, police helicopters, and 24 people were arrested. Chants against the police were also a part of the protest. Many protesters felt like the police were working too hard to protect the Spencer supporters. Some protesters covered their faces and refused to speak, but others had a message they wanted to share.
You know, in the airport where they say, if you see something, say something, we're saying something, because this is not right. This is not right.
And this woman holding a sign stating, "Say her name," Heather Heyer.
One of the neo-Nazis drove his car into the crowd and killed her.
Heyer was at the Richard Spencer event in Charlottesville, Virginia. She was protesting the white nationalists when she was run down and killed. That deadly outcome is one of the reasons MSU originally turned down the Spencer request to speak on campus, but the university was sued by Spencer's people for violating free speech. The lawsuit was settled with this event today. News cameras were not allowed inside the pavilion for the event, but it was streamed on Twitter.
We can ultimately measure the power of our words and our deeds by the degree to which we receive opposition.
I don't take away Richard Spencer's right to say what he says, but I also then want to practice my right to come out, challenge and oppose it.
People like Dr. Jeffrey Robinson, a pastor and a principal from Detroit, is one of the people who feels the violence shouldn't have happened here, but the protest was needed.
We have to find a better way of talking out our differences than resorting to violence and hurting each other.
Now, when the speech ended here inside the pavilion, police bussed the attendees out. There were only about a dozen of them, so there were no clashes here afterwards. Again, 24 people were arrested and some were injured. For now, live, Brianne Palmerini, 7 Action News.
All that for a dozen in attendance. Brianne, thanks.